All right, guys, welcome back to the markets. Markets in a minute, how to build some wealth. Just kind of wanted to go over a little bit about how the trading day progressed. It was a good first day back, right? One of the first things that you always want to do when you look at the market is quite simple. Where's it trying to go? Where's the market trying to go? This market is going up, low, higher, low. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. This market is definitely going strong. How do we short a market that is at all-time highs? You don't. You do not short a market that is at all-time highs. And really, I barely even traded today. I took one trade and it was based off of one thing. So if we come here and we go to our previous day, we go to our dailies, right? And it just really just marking out those previous day levels on the continuous contract. Sorry about that. I got a text. On the continuous contract, you don't want to do the most recent contract. You want to do it on the continuous contract because really that's where all the retail traders are going to be trading and everything like that. You want to mark out the high, the low. I don't even know if I can use this video anymore. Good Lord. Let me silence this. High, low, and the EQ. Now, if we go here to something like the 5-minute, you can see that the best trade of the day, and really quite often, some of the best trades will come just off of those levels. We backtested the previous day high, boom, that was it. Backtested the previous day high and took off. Let's see if there was something on a micro level that could have really, and really, I liked this level. We did get into this gap, right? And always when you're longing, you really always want to look left, right? You don't want to long into a void. You want to long into a support, right? So you can see here we had this previous resistance, 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 and then we come back down and we tap into support and boing, off we go. So that was a great trade. Great trade if you have it. If you didn't take it, don't worry about it. There'll be other trades. If we go to the ES, let's see here. Quite the same thing. Let's go to the 5-minute and let's introduce our previous day levels. Let's look at our previous day levels. Bam. You can see here, we did retrace a little bit deeper back into the daily open. As you can see, I had this little box here. And you like to use these little boxes. This is something that I learned from Severin. He calls it his predetermined boxes. More thinking about zones. Stop thinking about lines on a chart and start thinking about environments in zones. It's like football, right? They hike the ball. They're seeing how the defense is responding. If the defense is stacked over here and if there's opening over here, that gives the opportunity to pass over here. It doesn't mean he's going to be a perfect catch. He might bobble it a little bit. And I look at it the same way. This in here's they might have to bobble the ball a little bit. But what you're looking for when price comes down to a support level, you're looking for it. You want it to have that little unsureness. You want it to see that little because what it's doing is it's building up or maybe trapping some people. It's either building support or building resistance. Then when you get that pop to the upwards, you usually get that back test confirmation and continuation, or you get that drop downwards and that back test and continuation to the downside. Either way, this chop is not something that you want to be afraid of. Now, the reason why probably a lot of you are getting wrecked is because you're rushing. You're rushing, right? You're doing this you're looking at the 1 minute, right? And every move looks like it's the greatest move ever. But you have to realize that if you're doing your TA on the 4-hour, right? If you're looking at these supply demand levels on the 4-hour or the 1-hour or the 30-minute, that move on the 1 minute, that's not the move. You might see a couple of retests, a little bit of chop, little SFP here, little SFP there. You have to realize that that is not the move. Let's move on to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I'm just going to give you this quick little area here. Now, these are my little areas of where I am looking to trade, and I'll show you why. First off, let's bring out the high time frame levels. Bam! So we've got a daily level there. Now, I'm not really too crazy about this daily level. Now, one of the weird things is that Bitcoin is in a strange phase. And I would say that Bitcoin is probably the best deal in all of the financial markets. I mean, Nvidia, all-time highs. Apple, I mean, pick something. It's at all-time highs. Bitcoin's at a 50% discount from the all-time highs. And we are currently in a corrective phase. But in my opinion, The Elliott wave is complete. We have that A, B, C. That's it. I think that that's it. And I think that's it because we have dipped into a massive level of support. Just that all-time hot, just that all-time price action SFP. Since then, it's been a weird grind up. It hasn't really been super clean. But, a lot of times those moves that keep you guessing are the moves that really end up being profitable. So this little pullback here is fine. For me, where is critical support? All right, let's go here and let's get on the 4-hour and let's look at some levels. So for me, critical support, right? Let's bring in here local range. Really, I don't want to see price get any acceptance below $67,000. For me, that is the point of control of this little corrective phase, and it is the greater value area high, right? I don't think we need to come back down here. If we need to come back down here, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to spend any time down there. I'll tell you that. If we came back down here, I would really want to see people get trapped and then continue up. I will remain in my longs. I will remain in my spot. I am not currently in any longs, but I went all in spot right about here. It just looked too good. It looked like a big SFP and then boom, boom, higher low. I mean, ever since then, you can't argue with market structure, and I'm taking the chance. So that is on the higher time frame. Now let's talk about the lower time frame, right? So for me, there is this level right here, and getting acceptance into this, we might come and get sucked back into this point of control and give that a little bit of a test. We do have a smaller range, and in that smaller range, we do have some levels. Now, I like to think about it more or less like lines on a chart. We have to bounce off this line, or we have to do this and that. I mean, all that influencer bullshit is just crazy. I would look at where's support, and we do have some stack support right here. We got a naked daily point of control and a daily level. And here we got a naked daily point of control and a daily level. If we did come down here and we came into this level, we would be sweeping all these lows. So we'd be taking out everybody who was long here, right? Because where is control? Who is uncomfortable, and where does price need to go to make them more uncomfortable? Bitcoin loves to do that. Bitcoin loves to keep people uncomfortable. So when you're not uncomfortable, or when you are in max pain, right, or max discomfort, then you know probably the move is coming, right? Because how likely is it that we've been going down, 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 down? All these longs are starting to get closed out. And then what happens? We get right beneath all this price action, right in this previous high, 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 high. And then we come back down here, and maybe it's just a deep test. So if we did come down to this level, I would expect that we come out of there real quickly to trap those people. Because really that's what it's all about. It's about getting people bearish and then price moving away and using that momentum of those trades to push price away. If we did just come down here and just drop, it's just too easy. It just seems like it's too easy. It seems like Bitcoin is doing what Bitcoin does, and it's coming down, 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 and then it gets to a level of support, and then we go. And what makes the most sense for me is here and here. So set those alerts, 73, 786, 73, 150. Think about that. Tomorrow should be a good day because we are coming back down inside the previous day high. If we did get acceptance inside the previous day levels, then we would have all of this area to have fun in. And really, that's what it's all about. The first level I'd be looking at is an SFP of 7336 on the continuous contract. Really just coming on down here, SFP this level, a little bit of a range. We're still in an uptrend, right? Let's see here. Let's look at some volume. Let's introduce some tools, shall we? Let's go to the 30-minute. So go to the 30-minute, and we can see here, yeah, and that's previous range high. We could very well come. Well, first off, let's see what we got going here. Let's bring in some high time frame levels. So we're about to lose some high time frame levels. There's our volume. That's a nice supply demand level. Let's see if we got any previous week levels. We do have a previous week level down there in that box, previous week EQ. Let's see about some VWAPs. Okay, yeah. So we have the VWAP from the high and VWAP from the low, and it's all converging right there. That's why I really like this spot. So I'm going to leave this spot here, and actually I'm going to bring this over here. Yeah, actually, I'll just widen this out because we're not going to get to this today. And maybe in the next couple of days, let's see if that makes sense, right? And then let's look at it from an environmental view, right? Now we know what we would bounce off of there. But if we look at this here, does this make sense? If price just comes on down, bounces, boom, boom. I don't know. Makes sense to me. So this would be the big factor to me. This doesn't mean I'm longing right here. This means I'm looking for that change in market structure. I'm looking for us to come higher. If not, maybe we come down here. We do a little something like this. Back test, boom, boom, boom. Come down here, check this level. So it's not, it's less like this, and it's more like this or this. And then this box is going to be this or this. So these are the areas that I'm looking at currently. All right, guys, hope that helps. See you next time.